Alright, Shalom. It's the brothers from the GMS South Carolina camp back for another video. Before we go any further, your phone do not disturb. Before we go any further, we give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone for teaching us the truth, according to the Bible rule well, and peace and blessings to those who elect the nation of Israel. Today, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Basically, we're gonna go into a lesson going how you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans should be trembling at the Lord's threats, because the Lord has His men out there on the highways and byways. Real quick, get Jeremiah 28:8. Prophesying the downfall of this wicked, sinful kingdom, which is Babylon the Great, telling you of all of the different pestilence and diseases that are coming to this place, and it's gonna come in your lifetime. Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me.
Yeah, the prophets that have been before us, you got Noah, he preached the downfall and total annihilation of the first world, and that surely came to pass, Since when did the words of a prophet never come to pass? Yahweh Shema Shai, if he said that prophet that those words truly came to pass, scripture say, then shall they know a prophet had been among them. And that's what it's going to be too late for our people, where the Lord is sending out His threats, and He is going to make good on those threats. Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied.
Yeah, you look at that word prophesy. It means to tell you something before it happens. The Lord sets up His prophets, to tell you how things are going to go down. He has His prophets speak boss talk pretty much. Telling them how it's going to go down, what's going to happen, and it was nothing ever anything pretty for the wicked of our people. Go ahead.
And can I chime in real quick? Just to elaborate off the brother Isaiah, every ancient prophet, whoever stepped foot on the face of the earth, they prophesied. They told the people the things that was going to happen before these prophecies came to pass. And that's the same thing, that you see the true men of the Lord coming in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai doing today, 2019. You see us prophesying to the people, especially to our people, Israel, so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, of the prophecies that's going to come to pass before they actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
It reads on, both against many countries and against great kingdoms.
Yeah, and it's not America a great kingdom? So what? The prophets, the spirit of the prophet are subject to the prophets, So what? The prophets in the ancient time, they were here on the earth again, doing what the Lord have ordained them to do, which is to preach the downfall and total annihilation of this wicked, simple kingdom called America. Go ahead.
It says, both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war.
We're telling our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that the Lord is bringing a war to this place, and it's going to be a war of nuclear fire. There's going to be different race riots, different race wars.
Precept.
These things are coming to America. Go ahead.
This is Revelations chapter 11, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
The second woe is past,
Mm-hmm.
and behold, the third woe coming quickly.
Yeah, so what we're telling you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that the first woe was past, the first and second woe was past, which was World War I and World War II, and World War III is coming quickly. You got Isaiah 9:5.
Okay. This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise. And that's right. And what is that talking about? That's talking about your ancient wars. You see, because that's how your ancient wars were fought. It was fought with confused noise. You see, because you will have one opponent on one side of the battlefield, and you have another opponent on the other side of the battlefield. And they will have swords in their hand. And the next thing you know, they will take off running towards each other, screaming, yelling, or hollering. And as soon as they get to each other, the swords will be swinging at each other, making a whole bunch of clinging noise. And also the sword will be hitting the shield from another person trying to avoid getting cut or stabbed. You see, so that's how your ancient wars were fought. It was fought with a whole bunch of confused noise. It says what? And garments rolled in blood. And that's right, because after your own ancient wars were fought, you see everybody would be cut up and stabbed. There would be blood it would be blood all over the place. It would be blood all over their garment, all over their face, all over their body, blood all over the ground. You see, so again, that's how ancient war was fought. It was fought with a whole bunch of confused noise and garments rolled in blood. It reads on, but this shall be with burning fuse and fire. And that's right. And what's going to make this war, which is World War III, what's going to make this with burning fuse and fire? That's talking about those 200 ICBM missiles that are going to come from the end of heaven, the end of earth, that Russia, China, Syria, and all these different nations are going to send over to this place called America and destroy this place.
Kind of exactly. And that's why we are threatening our people, threatening them to get right with Yahweh Shema Shai before these things come to pass. After I get Hebrews 11.
God. This is back in Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied, both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Yeah, of war and of evil and of pestilence. Yeah, so we telling that World War III, there's gonna be race riots. There's gonna be there's gonna be bad times here in America. There's not gonna be any food in your grocery stores. The storehouses are gonna be found. Your grocery stores are gonna be found empty. The people are gonna be committing cannibalism. You're gonna have the so-called white people against the Israelites, or the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in these race wars. And these different diseases. There's gonna be enough dead bodies out here in the streets, and people are gonna be catching different diseases. There's not gonna be any doctors open, doctor's office, any hospitals where you can go get a cure for these diseases. And perilous times are coming to Babylon the Great. What is that scripture? And it should be coming in the last day. And basically, scriptures talk about in the last days, perilous times shall come. Men should be lovers of their own selves. But if brothers know where it's at, you can post on the comment board. Go ahead. Just jump to verse 6.
Okay. This is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him.
Yeah, without faith, believing, because you can't see, the prophecies aren't fully unfolding yet. You can't see these nuclear missiles being built. You don't see, you still see your food on your store shelf, so you can't see the day that there's not gonna be any food on your grocery stores. You can't see a vivid vision of how everything is going to break down, because what scriptures talk about, how wicked and sinful generation seeking for a sign, the only sign that should be shown is the prophet Jonas. And what did Jonas do? All he did was give the people warning, and that's what we're doing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, warning our people, threatening them with the word of the Bible to get right. Go ahead, bro. Read from top.
This is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him.
You get Ephesians 2 and 8. Yeah, it says without faith it is impossible to please Yahweh Shema Shai. So you can't please Yahweh Shema Shai without faith, So what does that mean? Get that real quick.
This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith. And that not of yourselves.
Yeah.
It is the gift of the Most High.
Yeah, so what does that mean? This message that we are threatening you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans is only for the elect. It's in hopes that those who have been granted with the gift of faith will hear these words, and take heed to the threats, While 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are tempting the Lord. You have taken the Lord's threats, and instead of you humbling yourself in his sight, you humbling yourself and begging and pleading for mercy, you yourselves have gathered up arms to fight against the Lord. Go back to you can read one more time, I guess. If you're still there.
It's all good. I'm here.
Okay.
This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and not that of yourselves. It is the gift of the Most High.
Yeah, so faith is a gift. You can go back. Now, faith is a gift of Yahweh Shema Shai, So only those who were allotted to receive this word from the foundation of earth are going to take the threats of the Lord seriously. Go ahead.
This is
That's why Slacky, brother. And that's why we go out there on the highways and byways to seal the elect, and to condemn 2/3 of our people, and to tell you heathens your judgment. Go ahead.
This is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him.
Mm-hmm.
For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is,
Uh-huh.
and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Right.
Verse 7. By faith, Noah, being warned of the Most High.
Yeah, by faith, Noah being warned of the Most High. So what? He was warned. And that's why Isaiah 58:1, this is why we go out there on the highways and byways and warn our people. Because what we know, the story of Noah, how he was delivered, but what first? What first he was given that gift of faith, so it was allotted for him from the foundation of the earth to receive this word, and once he heard that warning, scriptures say faith cometh by hearing, and hearing the words of the Lord. He heard the words of the Lord and he woke up. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Yeah, that's why, we speak very loudly, out there on the highways and byways, because there's a lot of chaos going on downtown. You got horns blowing in the background, and you got sincere brothers that want to hear the message, and we are crying aloud, telling the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that either you're going to take heed to the Lord's threats or you're going to be destroyed. Okay, bro?
It says, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Yeah, when we show our people their transgressions, when we tell them where they're going off at, we also tell them the penalty of going off. In good Joel 2:1, and we tell them that the Lord is on his way back, and that all the sinners of his people are gonna die by the sword. Those who are willfully sinning. Those who don't think. Actually, get that real quick.
Joel.
Amos 9 and 10, and then we'll get Joel, since I quoted it. I want to get the point out of that.
This is Amos chapter 9, verse 10. All the sinners of my people,
so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans,
shall die by the sword.
I fucking hate these fucking niggas, bro. Suck around with that stupid bitch. Go ahead.
It says, which say, the evil shall not overtake us, nor prevent us.
Yeah, and that's what the people who think the Lord's threats are a game. They're saying, oh, that's not going to happen. They don't think that they're ever going to be judged for their wickedness, but they are. The Lord is going to make good on his threats, but those who have been allotted the gift of faith are going to seek mercy when that grace period was allotted. Can you read that one more time?
This is Amos chapter 9, verse 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword.
Yep, and the sword, the water bro for reading that again. A sword is any killing instrument, and that's what we're telling you, that the Lord has many devices to take out you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans for your disobedience.
And chime in real quick. And the scripture said, what? All the sinners of my people, that my is possessor. So that's referring to you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans. So the ones of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans who are sinning, which we know sin to be, according to 1 John 3 and 4, transgressing the laws, statutes, commandments of the Bible, because the laws, statutes, commandments of the Bible was only given to you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans. You see, so the ones of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans who are sinning, who are transgressing Yahweh Shemashah's laws, statutes, commandments of the Bible that he gave you, you're going to die by the sword. And what is a sword? Any killing instrument. All these different plagues and calamities that Yahweh Shemashah are going to bring upon the face of the earth here to America and all around the four corners of the earth. Such as the 200 ICBM missiles that are going to come from these different nations, a famine of food and thirst, race riots, a whole bunch of brutal animals, female cats with the guillotine inside them to chop your head off, you name it. 2/3 so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, you're going to die by the sword because you're sinning, because you're transgressing the laws, that's commandments of the Bible willfully.
That's right. Oh, bro, that was beautiful. Can you go back to Joel now? 2 and 1.
This is Joel chapter 2, verse 1. blow ye the trumpet in Zion,
Mm-hmm.
and sound an alarm at my holy mountain.
Now, why are we doing this? You know what? To give the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans a warning. But go ahead.
It says, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble.
Yeah, so what we are making the word of the Lord known to you, so-called, to all you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all you Israelites. So what? That ye may tremble. But what? Like I said, 2/3 ye are not trembling at the words of the Lord. You are taking the Lord's threats for jokes. That's why you mock the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shai. You speak against the words that we speak. And that's why you got these false leaders saying that there's nothing's coming to America.
Mm-hmm.
That peace and love and positivity and happiness is all coming to America. Because they don't take the threats of the Lord seriously. But what the scriptures are telling you, and this is only for the elect, that you're supposed to be trembling, and only those who have been allotted that gift of faith is going to and can receive the words of the Lord are going to be trembling, and they're going to use that period of time to get right, to get in good gracious with Yahweh Shema Shah. The scriptures talk about, the Lord is a man of war,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a parable with goes into how if a ruler of a city came at you with 20,000 troops, would be efficient enough for you to come back against him with a certain number of troops, or do you sign a plea deal? And that's what the elect the Israelites have done. We signed a plea deal with Yahweh Shema Shai to ask for mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Joel chapter 2 verse 1.
Just read where you were.
Kind. For the day of Yahweh Bashima Shah cometh, for it is nigh at hand.
And that's what we telling you. Hey, the day of the Lord is coming. Go back to Hebrews now.
Mm-hmm.
Go back. That the day of the Lord cometh is nigh at hand. When the Lord cometh, and we gotta get how the Lord is coming. Can you Isaiah 33? Isaiah 66
Mm-hmm.
and 15.
Mm-hmm.
Because look, when the Lord comes back, He is not going to be talking. The Lord is about action. He has His servants going out on the highways and byways speaking to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He has His servants warning you.
Get another one.
Real quick, get Isaiah 33 and 6 though.
33 and 6. 66.
Behold, the Lord shall come with fire.
66.
Yeah, Slovakia. I kept saying 36. That was my fault.
This is Isaiah chapter 66, verse 15. For behold, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will come with fire.
Yeah, and that's how the Lord cometh. The Lord is coming with fire. He's coming from, where you people, He's coming in those glorious vehicles, the chariots of Israel, which you people ignorantly call UFOs, and you are going to tremble then. The Lord is going to make you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans fear. You Jakes think everything's a joke. You just had some damn nigga woman stop in the middle of the road because she wants to be all drunk out here in the streets. But if that car would have kept driving and hit her ass, she would have been very scared, She would have been in the hospital fighting for her life. But what? Our people, until the Lord touches them, until the Lord comes back with that fire, they're not going to fear. Even then, many calamities like the brother was going into earlier, hey, that's going to make our people fear. Go ahead.
It says, and with his chariots like a whirlwind.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, because, a whirlwind, you look at these tornadoes, they come spinning real fast. They come through messing things up. You see, once the tornado comes through a city or a town, you look at that town, everything is just destroyed. You see, and so that's how Yahweh Shem Shah is going to come with those chariots. He's going to come like a whirlwind just destroying everything that you see on the face of the earth. It says, to render his anger with fury,
mm-hmm.
and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Yeah, so that's how the Lord is going to talk with our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, with fire, But what? Right now, the Lord is sending His threats. Right now is a time for you to repent. Right now, the doors of mercy are still open, Now is now or never. Go ahead.
Verse 16, for by fire and by His sword will Yahweh Shem Shah plead with all flesh.
Yeah, and we are pleading with you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to get right now. But when the Lord comes back, You know, he's coming back angry. He's coming back pissed off, you know? Hey, and he is going to destroy. He's going to destroy you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
It says, "In the slain of Yahweh Shemashah shall be many."
Yeah, the slain. You know, when you look up that word slain, it means to kill. You know, that slain of the Lord is going to have a high body count. You know, the slain of Yahweh Shemashah is going to be many.
Precept.
Mm-hmm.
This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 9. Behold, the day of Yahweh Shemashah cometh, cruel.
Yeah, and this is what we are threatening you with. You know, a cruel day. You know, and that is cometh. It's cometh quickly.
And real quick, just look at the definition of cruel.
Oh, don't use the voice. It's gonna turn it off.
It is.
Yeah, make sure we're still going.
We are. Yep. So good. Oh, never mind. I'm on airplane mode. That's why. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Try not to water, bro.
Really again? Okay. Definition of cruel: willingly causing pain or sufferings to other, or feeling no concern about it. Yeah, so this is what we're telling you. Hey, the Lord is about to be willingly causing pain to so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He is going to take great pleasure into destroying you, you know, especially since you have raised up your swords against him. Go ahead. And how have you done that? By not being obedient, being under the submission of his words, under his law, under his of his will, you know?
This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 9. Behold, the day of Yahweh Shemashah cometh. So like it's really ambulance riding by, a loud noise in the background. But again, read that from the top. This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 9. Behold, the day of Yahweh Shemashah cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger.
Yeah, the Lord's coming with wrath and fierce anger. You want to say something?
And, you know, just that Yahweh Shemashah is coming cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger. You know, like I was going into earlier, he's going to show that he's coming back cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, by all these different plagues and calamities on the face of the earth. And you can already see, you know, that Yahweh Shemashah is coming back cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, by the thing that's going on the earth right now, but it's only going to get worse. It says,
yeah, scripture say these are only the beginning of sorrows.
Kind. It says to lay the land desolate, and that's right. And what's going to lay this land, America, you know, aka Sodom, Egypt, desolate? Those 200 ICBM missiles that are going to come from these different nations to destroy this place called America. You see, those missiles are going to make this place called America uninhabited. You see, once this place America destroyed, the only thing that's going to be dwelling here, the only thing that's going to be living here is desert creatures.
Yeah, this is a careless city. You know, here it is. We out there on the highways and byways week in and week out, you know, crying and sighing and crying to our people. It's like, hey, it's about to be serious times out here. But everyone's still just walking up the street, you know, giggling and laughing, you know, having a jolly old day. Hey, when the Lord is about to make good on his threats, you know? The Lord is not a man that he should lie, you know, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Has he said it, and shall he not make it good? The Lord's about to make good on his word, you know? And all you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that's living in pleasure, living in, you know, in a careless state, you're going to be destroyed.
It reads on, and he should destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
Yeah, the sinners of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are going to be taken out, you know? Because you didn't take heed to the warning.
Going back down, Hebrews.
Yeah, Hebrews 11.
This is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 7. By faith, Noah being warned of the things not seen as yet.
Yeah, and that's what we do. We warn our people of the things that have not seen yet. A cruel day of the Lord, you know, a day that's never been seen upon the face of earth. We are warning our people, but Noah, when he was warned, you know, go ahead.
It says, move with fear.
Move with fear. You know, he feared Yahweh Shemashah. He took heed of the threats. He feared the words of Yahweh Shemashah, you know. And what the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. The scriptures talk about how the fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of the Most High.
That's right.
You know, so you gotta fear Yahweh by Shema Shah. You gotta take the Lord and His threats seriously. Go ahead.
It says, prepare an ark to the saving of his house.
He took action. You know, he wasn't a hearer of the word. He was a doer of the word. You know.
That's right. It reads on.
Why? Because they have heard the Lord's threats and they take them very seriously. Go ahead.
It reads on. Prepare an ark to the saving of his house, by which he condemned the world.
Yep.
And became heir of the righteousness which is by faith.
Exactly. You know, that was the point. Hey, the Lord had him move with fear. You know, we'll get two more. Get Luke 14 and 23. And should got that one earlier, but and then we'll get Second Corinthians. We'll get a couple more, Lord's will. You got it?
This is St. Luke chapter 14 verse 23. And Yahweh Shah said unto the servant, go out into the highways and the hedges.
Yep.
And compel them to come in.
Yeah, and you look up that word compel, it means to threaten. You know, so what we're really, you know, because the Lord, you know, He wants His house to be full, but only the ones that are going to come in is the elect. Because what they have been given that gift of faith and fear from the foundation of the earth. Go ahead.
It says that my house may be filled.
Exactly. You know, so that's why we go out there on the highways and byways and threaten our people with the words of the Lord, that the elect may come in. Get 2 Chronicles 5. The scriptures say the Lord shall threaten, and who shall not utterly be beaten the powder, you know? Get 2 Chronicles 5.
Chronicles 5.
I'm sorry, 2 Corinthians 5. I always get those two messed up. 2 Corinthians 5 and 5 and 10. You can start at 10, bro.
Okay. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Hamashiach.
Yeah, and when the Lord we just read how the Lord's coming back, you know. Do you want to be judged with that fire, you know, or do you want to be found when you're judged that the Lord has mercy upon you? Go ahead.
It says that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he have done.
Yeah, so every man is going to pay for his deeds, you know, whether it be they be righteous or wicked. Go ahead.
It says whether it be good or bad.
Go ahead.
That's the spirit. I was looking for this precept. Yeah, that's the spirit.
Okay, you want to chime in?
2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 11. Knowing therefore the terror of Yahweh Ba'ashem Awashai.
Knowing therefore the fierce anger and how the Lord is truly coming back, you know.
We persuade men.
Yeah, we persuade you. We threaten you.
Righteousness. I was just saying so like
You're good.
10:31. This is Hebrews chapter 10 verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. And that's right. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of Yahweh Shah. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, which his name means he is or he exists, and Yahweh Shah being the only begotten Son, which his name means he saves fearful thing to fall into their hands. You see, because Yahweh Shah, they can bring your worst fears upon you. You see,
We're edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Just a simple lesson on how we are threatening our people with the words. Only the elected is going to take heed to that threat. But before we go any further, we will all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone teaching us the truth, according to the Bible, rule well, and peace and blessings to those who elect the nation of Israel. Next time we say, Shalom.
Shalom.